morning. I am Kevin Price. Delighted to be with you, spend some time with you, talking about you and your business. You know, we do a lot of our stuff in conjunction with our friends over at usdailyreview.com. Love to get some stories that, even though we're here in Houston, have national appeal and interest. And we got Peter Loewy with us. He's a Chief Executive Officer of Telos Properties. And that's the properties out there in the left coast, out there in the Los Angeles area. Peter, welcome to the program.
Thanks. How are you?
Yeah, and I'm going to ask my producer to turn up my volume a little bit of my headphones. This maximum on my end, and I barely heard our guest here. Peter, tell us a little bit about Telos Properties.
Sure. Telos Properties is a brokerage firm in Southern California, and we have offices in most of the luxury locations in California, including Newport Beach, Beverly Hills, Brentwood, Montecito, and some other locations.
Okay, and how old is the company?
Well, the company was founded in Beverly Hills in 2007, which was probably the worst time to open a real estate company. But we felt that with the economy as it was a good time for us to at least get the basis going and then expand it as we move forward.
Yeah, and you chose 2007 because? Well,
we felt that there was opportunity to be had. The real estate market was in a bit of a lag, and we felt that if we put together a good company that really worked towards a positive goal, we'd be able to be successful in the near term.
Would you say your specialty is in luxury and prestige properties?
Right, luxury residential prestige properties, right.
Yeah. What's the average price of a home that you guys sell?
Probably our average price is $1.3 million or thereabouts. A lot of them are above that, but if we average them, there's about $1.3 million is our average price.
How long have you been in the real estate business?
Well, it's interesting. I was an attorney prior to joining the real estate business. I've always been a developer for the last 20 or so years, and then joined Telos Properties in around 2010.
Okay, and you joined? Did you join as a CEO?
No, I actually joined as the general counsel. The company was having some fits and starts, and I felt coming in. I was an investor in the company, so I felt coming in I could take a look at the company and see what we could do to expand it. I'd worked previously in an international law firm and kind of made that grow, so I thought that I could help in this particular instance.
How's real estate doing now in California?
It's actually doing very well. You know, we're having a tremendous demand. There's a shortage of inventory, so prices are going up. Obviously we're waiting to see what interest rates do, but at this point it hasn't affected the sales prices and or the velocity of the markets.
Yeah, and so interesting. And you are only in California, though, is that correct?
Right, exactly.
And that's because of why?
Well, we started in Southern California. We're working our way up the coast a bit. We've gone up to Montecito and now are looking further north. But we feel that it's been a market that we know. Our other founders were California realtors and ran California businesses, so we thought that was a good place to start.
Yeah, interesting. So how do you feel about 2013?
Well, so far it looks pretty good for us. I mean, in California, again, we don't really study most of the other markets, but here it seems there's a tremendous demand. We're seeing more international buyers come into the high end, which has been helpful in pushing our pricing up. We recently sold the property over $25 or $30 million, all cash, to a foreign buyer, so we're seeing that more and more at this point.
Yeah, and so you're seeing more and more in international buyers. What do you explain? How do you explain that?
Well, I think if you look at the international market, a lot of our buyers here in California are from Asia, China, particularly China right now, and it seems that the real estate market in China has gone up, and now our properties look less expensive. We have a ranch division that we work with that also sells ranches, working ranches, and it seems that's another area that we're seeing more and more buying from a foreign source.
Yeah, interesting. And learning a little bit more about the real estate situation there in California. Peter Loewy, he's our guest. He's Chief Executive Officer of Telos Properties. And, very interesting out there. And of those various areas that you're covering, what seems to be the hottest?
Well, I think right now the hottest market, and this in California is kind of our lower end market, is in the $700,000 to $1.2 million or $1.3 million range. It seems to be that area where people are now entering the market. with people entering the market at that amount, those sellers are now moving up again, which is something we were expecting to see. And then again, as I said, at the high end, we're seeing the cash buyers come in, so it seems to be pretty solid across all markets.
Okay. Is there certain geographical areas that are hotter than others?
I think we're certainly seeing the Silicon Valley, San Francisco, Los Angeles, major spots. As you know, real estate is about location. So wherever there's been a solid location over the years, it seems like those are the strongest areas. If we look in the Los Angeles market, for example, our office in Brentwood or Santa Monica, we put a property on the market, and within 5 days we have multiple offers. It's just it's one of those things where I think where there's a good location, people are investing pretty quickly.
So, what would you say then is how many realtors, by the way, do you have?
Right now, we have about 270 realtors. We've had pretty strong growth in our world. We've had about anywhere around 300% growth for the last couple of years in our expansion dollars, and we've had probably 70 or 75% year-over-year growth of our agents. Again, we're very selective in the agents that we choose, and that we won't recruit new agents, only those that have a number of years of experience and are quality in their markets.
Okay, very good. Peter Loewy, he's been our guest. He's with Tellus Properties, rather. How did you get that name? What made you come to that choice of a name? Do you know?
Well, it dates back to a Greek story where it's a beautiful voice or a siren that attracts the sailors. So that became our linchpin, and it kind of doesn't really have a lot to do with real estate, but I think our founders felt that the beautiful voice of real estate was what we were going to be.
Yeah, my son, Christian, he would have known that. He would have laughed for me asking that question. In fact, I knew it sounded familiar because it's one of those stories from driving him from point A to point B, because he's kind of continuously, I can't find a stop button, so he continuously tells me stories, and mythology is one of his favorite things. So that explains exactly what it was. Peter, thanks so much for being with us.
All right, thanks.
Tellus Properties, TELES Properties.com. I'm Kevin Price. When we come back, much more for you. You're listening to The Price of Business.